Good evening, everybody. Welcome, Grizzlies. Welcome, OGs. Thank you so much for being here. Please alert everyone, to also watch this episode, share this episode. It's very important. It is one to spread awareness about the Daniel Robinson case, which we discussed 2 days ago or so. So please check out that episode as well. And welcome to Daniel's father, David. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
All right. I'm sure this is very difficult for you to be here during this time of uncertainty, but we really, as a community, want to help you in your search for your son. So if you would like, if you don't feel comfortable, please let me know at any time. But if you'd like, just to give us a rundown of what happened, when it happened, where you think your son might be, and how we can help out.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Of course, my name is David Robinson. Daniel's father. We're both from South Carolina, Columbia, South Carolina. My son Daniel came to Arizona straight out of college. He landed his first job here in Phoenix. Yeah, straight out of college, he made it here. He's been here for roughly going on 3 years. Well, my son ended up going missing that day. He went missing as a field geologist. I wanted to add in. That's where he got hired. I got an alert from my daughter. She also lives here in Phoenix. Called me and said, "Hey, Dad, Daniel's coworker came to the house and searching for him, looking for him." That's when we first got alerted. Now I tell you, that's not the first thing that you think when you hear that. And I say, "Oh God, he's missing." Is that what's going on? So of course I had my daughter to go check his apartment. While in the meantime, I was making phone calls to his number. Of course, I wasn't getting an answer, and that's when it started becoming a little problematic for me. It's a bit time different in the East Coast than it is here in Phoenix. There's a 3-hour difference, and so at the clock, I was like, realized that hey, wait a minute, it's been over 6 hours, and he's not answering his phone. So I alerted his mother. I called her and let her know what's going on. That I'm looking for Daniel. Also, we all looking for him. So I figure out, try to understand what's going on. But look at the time, like Daniel would never ever do anything without telling his siblings. So of course, like other sister and his older brother, they didn't hear from him. So of course, we being worried about that. It took a while, and I'll be honest with you, to go straight to putting in a missing person report. Only because dealing with the nature of not knowing exactly what's going on at the time, I didn't go in to say, "Hey, I'm calling." So after I exhausted searching his house, trying to call him for an hour, about an hour later, that's when I decided to go ahead and put in he's missing. I was told I had to wait for a 12-hour before he can be reported missing. So I waited an extra 3 hours. Yes, I waited an extra 3 hours.
Wow. That must be so, so what do you call it? Frustrating and anxiety, to wait those extra 3 hours. But then you reported him missing, right?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Probably on the minute. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Once he'd been reported, I reported into, actually I called, his city was actually Tempe, who alerted me to, call Buckeye because that's the last place he was seen. For answers from his employer. I put it in that night. Of course, as a family, hey, we helpless. I'm here in South Carolina at the time. My son is out here in Arizona. I couldn't go search for myself. Hey, look, can y'all go out there in that desert, search for my son? I understood it was nighttime at the time, so say we can't get a helicopter out there tonight, but we'll do it in the morning. So of course, I'm not getting into sleep as a father. I kept calling, getting updates to see what they're doing. Then this morning, he said, "Hey, we're gonna go out there and look for him." I was really grateful. Then an hour later, he called back and said the supervisors had denied his request because Daniel's a grown man. If he wanted to leave, he can leave. There's nobody can tell him where he can go. That type thing. So as soon as I heard that, that was unacceptable to me. Hey, my son is new in this state. He's not from the state. Of course, he's been living here almost 3 years. But he's out at his job. And from what the story was, he supposedly just drove off in the remote part of the desert, and you didn't want to go look for him. So of course, I grabbed everything I could, clothes, whatever I needed, threw it in my car, and I had started heading out west. Went think of anything but to go find my son. So once I made it to outside of Arizona here, I got a phone call from my auntie who from Philly. She talked to Buckeye and actually had them to. She said they sent a helicopter out. Hey, whatever she said to him. Hey, David, they put a helicopter out there. But that's 3 days later. So that was on the 26th. My son went missing June 23rd. Here it is on. He finally convinced them to put a bird in the air. So that was a problem for me. From that point, that's the reason why when I got here, I had to make a decision. And when I got here to do my own searches, end up being my own searches, end up being putting my own investigative hat on. Outside of being a father.
Yes. Wow, that is amazing. And you had to basically, obviously, relocate because you're searching for your son at least every Saturday, but I'm sure you go out more often, right? You're always searching.
Right.
My
one of the biggest things was when I first got here, I didn't know anything about the desert. Of course, Buckeye said, asked me not to go out there. I've been deployed. I've been to Afghanistan twice. I'm a veteran, so I've been in some desert areas before. So I'm familiar with desert, but this is a different type. And being I didn't know the terrain, I've been obedient. I stayed out there on Sun Valley Parkway. Cactus Road with my binoculars, and I used to look out there. The only thing that was for me was getting out there was that desert. Just when I realized I wasn't getting anything from the Buckeye Police Department in terms of actually going out there to search for my son, I had to get out there in the desert. And the only way I can do that was started calling people, texting. I didn't know anyone, so I had to try to do everything I can to form a search team, which I was able to find some people who knew about the terrain, who pretty much qualified from my respects, qualified enough to help me get this search going. So I was able to pull some people together and get the searches going, and I've been doing it ever since.
Wow. Okay. And we did a bit of, we call it map time on this channel, but we did it for your son's case as well. And I saw, because there was the colleague Ken, right? Is that the colleague who went to report him? Okay. So there was that Sun Parkway Road, and then it like splits off. So which way do you know that your son went? To the left or to the right or not? I just saw the road splits off, and I just read somewhere that Ken went looking for him but didn't find anything.
Well, from my understanding, Ken, he's definitely not a co-worker. He's worked for a company called Weber.
Okay.
Son, dude, he's a field geologist, so he get assignments every morning from his job out in here in Phoenix. He can end up in Flagstaff. He can end up. I mean, he don't know what assignment is going to be, but he always generally go to a website. A well site. Sorry, and he'll meet a representative from the drilling company, whatever drilling company it is. It's only typically when he go to a well site, is only himself and one other person. Same like it was this morning. My son went to two well sites. He went one prior to the well site. He ended up becoming missing. So when he got out there, of course, he got directions how to actually get out there. He called Ken and got directions from him how to get out there, where to meet. They met out there on Sun Valley Parkway. From what I was told, he directed my son down to the well site. What you have to do, you have to go out west for about a mile, and then you go north for another 2 miles just to get to that well site out there in the desert. But when Ken said that my son decided to leave, and he said he went down that 2 miles down towards the T. Is a T junction there. You got to go east or you can go west. And he said when he went down to check, he saw tire tracks going out west into the desert. And that's what I'm saying. So that's what I'm saying. That's what a T joint is, not actually on Sun Valley Parkway, but it's out there in the desert.
I see. Okay. Yeah, I had a look at that map, and I was just trying to figure out where, because the suspicious circumstances under which his car was found, that I found so interesting, that initially in some of the search, this is just what I've read, correct me if I'm wrong, no one saw the car. But later, which maybe you found the car, right? In the search, his car was found in a ravine. Is that correct?
Well, that the vehicles came up about 29 days, almost 30 days later after my son went missing. There were several searches. There was the first search by Buckeye 3 days later. They
Yes.
did a second search like 2.5 weeks later with Silver Air Patrol in the
Okay.
same area. And then, of course, I started my own searches because I was satisfied. So we started searching, but our search was always concentrated on the well site because the vehicle wasn't there yet. So it wasn't actually in that area searching. But the Buckeye Department was, well, at least they say they were. And then here it is almost 30 days later, the vehicle show up. The rancher who owned the land out
Yes.
chasing cattle, he's the one that found the vehicle and reported it to the Buckeye Police Department.
Do you have any suspicions about the rancher? We're true crimers here, so we just, I've just thought about it. My first hunch was, did he get interviewed? Do you have any suspicions, or is he helping in the search?
Well, as a father, you can imagine I'm suspicious of everybody.
Oh, yeah.
So anything for me will be suspicious.
Yes.
At the well site, that's suspicious. The vehicle, the
Yes.
way it was found, that is suspicious. My son close on the ground, that's suspicious. But when it comes to the rancher, he's been very helpful.
Okay.
At the time, and I learned we was able to get a lot of details and information from him. That was very helpful.
Okay. And did it shock you when the car was found, like where it was found? Did that really surprise you? Was it like, what, compared to where you were searching and what you understood then? That obviously changed your search radius and what could have happened, right?
Right, and that was a problem for me. Of course, like I said, the search is always concentrated on the well site area.
Yes.
And being with the low resources I have and volunteers, we can only go out so far. The vehicle was found, Buckeye would say 4 miles away from the well site, but when you're actually on the ground, it's really about 2 miles, 2.5 miles roughly from the well site where it was found. So, of course, when I realized that, that's problematic for me, being that Buckeye said they've been out there doing extensive searches with outside. They work with outside agencies that I have never met yet. I'm a father. I never heard of them, never met them, but that's the stuff they put out there. And and for them not to have found that vehicle, and also from the rancher, they have helicopters and airplanes. They say they had in the air, but they say, hey, the terrain is rough. The terrain is not that bad. You won't be able to see a vehicle out there, but that was problematic for me as a father to see that it was so close, and they searched that area, and they've been looking, and the vehicle showed up.
Wow. And this is why you were saying before we started going live that your radius is around an 11-mile search. Now, that's based on the car having driven 11 miles after the initial crash, right?
That's right. The new searches, we start off that way. Once a vehicle is found, of course, we're searching the area around that vehicle. And like I say, I want people to understand that, of course, the desert is a vast place. So we try to we break things down in grids, and we search every week, certain grids, and we mark it off on the map. You go on to searchforDaniel.org, you see what I'm talking about.
Yes,
mark everything out that we search. Then we just keep working from there. But now, recently, we start to go a little farther out based on that 11 mile extra miles that was on the vehicle. Right.
And this may be a difficult question, but what do you believe? Because I find it so strange that there's an initial crash on the car's black box or technology or whatever when the airbags deploy, and then the ignition gets turned more than 46 times. That's what I read.
That's right.
And the car after the initial crash drives 11 miles. So what do you think happened? Like, how does that happen? Because I just can't understand it.
Yeah, I'm not an expert, so it's hard for me to understand that too. I would think that when a vehicle crashes, you can't drive it anymore. But being that I'm part of, this happening to me and my family, we learned a little bit more that a vehicle can be driven even after the airbags has been deployed. So, having learned that, and then the ignition switch, there's a lot of theories I can come up with. My family and I, we come with it all the time. People out there, I'm sure, come with all kinds of theories, but I definitely don't know what happened. Why it's cranked so many times, where the vehicle came from, because like the rancher said, it wasn't there. And just the fact that my son's clothing was 3 feet from the ground, I had to consider all that. So we have all kinds of theories.
So, yeah, okay. So that's what I was going to say. The clothing, I thought it was in the car, but you say right there within range of the car, and those were the clothes that he was wearing that day,
That's correct. It's
right?
about 3
It's
feet
not.
from the vehicle, right?
Yeah, it's not extra clothing because some people had questions when I was, covering this case at first. Was it extra clothing or was there a bag? It was not extra clothing. It was his clothing.
Well, it was his clothing. From what I understand now, we can't definitively say that he didn't have a change of clothes. We
Yeah.
wasn't there. But it's not typical for him. I mean, it's typical for I think geologists to be out there in the desert and
Yes.
change of clothes for emergency purpose. But my son, this is something he do all the time, and it'd be strange to say he had a change of clothes and he put it on the ground and then leave his cell phone. Saying
Yeah.
things like
Yeah.
that. He's a 24-year-old young man, and I
Yeah.
don't know too many 24-year-olds, even myself, older guy, would leave his
Right.
cell
Right.
phone. So there's a lot of other things like that. That's
Cell phone, wallet, keys were still there, right? Everything and clothing. That's just so strange. And then they found a skull close to the area from what I read, but it wasn't your son's and it wasn't another missing person. So did they ever confirm then whose was it or what was it? Because that is also a strange coincidence.
Well, on our searches, not the Buckeye. Buckeye have anything to do with any of the searches that I have.
Yeah.
My searches, we it's often for us to run into human remains. Even this last week, we ran into more,
Wow.
but we turned them into the Buckeye Police Department. And I do understand they put out, and now when I say that, because I think it's some kind of way to downplay our searches, but we know what human remains look like. But they say there's
Yes.
animal bones, but they couldn't deny the skull. So the
Mm-hmm.
skull has been found, of course, and they just recently, a couple of days ago now, reconstruct that skull and actually have a face now to that person.
Wow.
So
Okay.
find the family that person belongs to, because there's a lot of missing people out there in that area. They call me all
Yeah.
the time. Of course,
Wow.
they share their story and things like that. So they out there, and we not only I'm out there finding Daniel, looking for Daniel, but we find
Yes.
bring closure to other people too.
Oh my goodness. That is so scary as well, that there's so many missing people there and that while you're searching for your son, you come across all these other people. My goodness. Sure. Everyone is being very supportive. I can see you guys all in the chat. Of course, I'm very focused over here. Thank you so much for all your support. And please share this video because we want to raise as much awareness as possible. All the links to all the ways that you can support this search are in the description box below. So just click on those. And I think my mods are also sharing them as well. And yes, I will do a standalone episode as well on this case. I did it combined with Jelani Day's case, but we're going to do another one just to keep on raising the awareness. So thank you so much for being here, everyone. I really appreciate it.
Yes, thank you.
Right. So what else can you tell us? I don't know what else to ask. It's so shocking, this case. My goodness. And now what I wanted to ask actually is the Buckeye police said they went out with cadaver dogs and drones and everything, but did they do that?
Well, I'm not gonna say what they haven't done when they say that, but I can say from my perspective and what I
Yeah.
know to be on the ground, I have never seen any cadaver dogs from them. I haven't ever seen. And the reason I say I haven't seen that,
Yes.
you would think that if those things are true, they would share it with the family.
Yes.
If they say they have outside agencies working in, like I said up front, I haven't been contacted by any.
Wow.
And it's just just certain things I have seen on the ground. We're out there, myself and the volunteers,
Yes.
out there on the organized searches, and then all through the week. And
Yes.
no one ever really see Buckeye out there at all doing anything. So that's some of the things that I don't have. In other words, I just don't have the confidence there.
Okay. But you are doing an amazing job. And you've got you were saying to me before, 150 or so to 200 volunteers, right? But there's always room for more, right?
It is, yes. And we need that. We need more. More
Yes.
is a good thing.
So if anyone is in Arizona or near Arizona and you want to help out with a search, please do join. There are so many links in the description box and ways to contact David. Please do that. And if I were there, I would be there. I would be there helping out with this because I really hope that you find your son.
Yes.
Sure. Let's see what they say here. So what I wanted to ask, was what I just, of course, it's just, it's the media, which I don't know if you read all these articles on the case, right? Some of it could be accurate and some not. But some were saying that your son was behaving slightly strangely in the days leading up to this event. Is that correct? Did you notice anything? Are there any clues that we could have from that?
Well, I will say this real quick. I don't get to watch news. I don't get to watch
Right.
articles. I don't even watch my own interviews, only because I'm so busy trying to find my son. And that's the main
Yes.
course,
Yes.
is to try to get out there, get awareness, but I'm not concentrating on the
Yeah.
feedback. I'll just put it that way.
Okay.
But yeah, there's I hear a lot of rumors coming from my children and family. Of course, they'll tell me things that's out there.
Yes.
When it comes to my son acting strangely, I refute a lot of those claims.
Yeah.
Of course, Buckeye going to put, do interviews with the coworkers and things like that. But
Yes.
I want you to understand that there's a difference between what a coworker would say and what a family member would say, because a coworker only knows my son from work.
Yes.
I know my son from birth. So.
Mhm.
When I have a conversation with my son 2 days prior to him going missing, I can
Yes.
tell you that just like anybody, if you have a 24-year-old kid, well, he's a kid to me, we could
Yes.
discuss
Yes.
a lot of things. Hey, look, he could be from financial to relationship, could be from
Yes.
whatever. So sometimes a person could say, come into a job and say, hey, yeah, from what the coworkers I've been hearing saying, he's been acting strangely. And if he was acting strangely, he could just have had a bad day. He could have had a bad week.
Yes.
But that don't mean that you go out and disappear because you're having a bad day, a bad week, and you usually be upbeat and you're happy all the time. But then this day or days up, you've been kind of you might not even like the job. I don't know. But so
Yeah.
I'm saying that there's a lot of speculations out there based on what somebody had to say about my son.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, because I think it was possibly from the person who maybe last saw him at the well site, maybe just saying he was staring off into the distance and all that. But yeah, maybe he
Yeah, you only
was.
knew my son for let's see,
You're right.
15 minutes, so you can make a psychological observation
Right.
about someone you met. Now you say, hey, this person has an issue.
Yes.
Let's he's run around and some drugs or something.
Yes.
That's not my son. My son is a scientist.
Yes.
He's a geologist. He had a job, his first job. He had his own place. He's been maintaining himself for years. You know what I'm saying this is his first job. My son has done very well. He got a brand new vehicle that I supposed to be coming here to see for the first time in July. He's very proud of his accomplishments. I'm proud of him as a father. His mother is proud of him as a mother. And to hear know for a little short distance of time, roughly minutes, can try to make some kind of psychological observation. That don't fans out for me.
Right. That makes sense. And is there any value or weight in the story of him visiting a woman called Caitlin, dropping off something? Did he have a side job dropping off food or something else? And did he meet this woman? I just read something about that. Is there any valuable information there to help solve the case?
Well, I won't say valuable information. I think sometimes the media would like to look for a story, and I get that because it's been hard for me as a father to
Yes.
even get national attention.
Mhm.
And a lot of times, like right now, even now, I've been my son's stories have been out there, but the only thing they would say, hey, I need something new, so it's almost selling stories. And this whole thing being made out of, I don't want to be a story about no Caitlin and this and that. That's not my son. So it's my son is missing. He's missing.
Yes.
And that's the whole key. We need to be out there looking for him.
It's great to hear it straight from you, because I don't know, it definitely adds to the mystery, when you're like, wait a minute, what? And then there's this and this, and it just makes no sense. So
right.
Wow. Okay. What else can I ask you? Is there anything else that you would like to the platform is yours, so please say anything that you want to say. Go ahead, tell us what we can do to help. I'm monitoring the chat as well.
Yes, one thing I can say is that first of all my volunteers, I really love them. We like family.
Yes.
So relying on each other to make sure I get the word out there. to get all the help we can out there on the searches on Saturdays. Like I said, that's the most organized.
Yes.
Also, being put in the position as a father, saying something like this happening in your family, you never see it coming. Being here, I have learned a lot. First of all, how to organize and put things together. So that was kind of forced on me, and I was able to do it for my son, and I'm continuing on doing that. However, at the same time, I realized that it's not just about my son Daniel now. After going on 4 months here, it's not just about my son. It's about my son to me, but it's also about the other families out there who's going through the same exact thing I have. I mean, struggling for 3 months to even be heard. I have a petition out there, and I want people to also know about the petition. You can find that on pleasehelpfinddaniel.com.
Yes.
And I want people to go sign the petition, because the petition is going to be used to help bring awareness and make changes in some of the policies that's out there. I had to wait literally 24 hours, and it was all 3 hours short. Also, whenever a person go missing, there should be a certain urgency. It shouldn't be this, a lot of gagging. People ask me about the Tito case, for instance. Only thing I can say about that, my condolences to the family. Also, they know that all missing person cases should be handled the same exact way. It should be with an urgency. You should use all the resources you can get. The department can't handle their resources, then they need to go outside. And that's what I'm trying to find for my son in this case.
Yes, absolutely. I agree with that. I'm just gonna, if viewers have any respectful questions, please ask them. Just know it's a very sensitive case. The search is still ongoing. Please indicate as well if you are able to help. Email me as well at grizzlybookstruecrime@gmail.com, and maybe I could connect you guys as well in any way that I could help. That would be great. Let's see what else they say. I can't see a question right now. Do you have any information about your son that could help anyone look out for him? A description, height, weight, what he's like, things like that?
Yeah, well, Daniel, of course, he was born without a hand. That didn't stop me from anything. He's just a very outspoken guy. He's very confident in himself. Daniel's about 5'8". He's about 160 some pounds now. And he's a black male. He like to have his hair cut short. Sometimes they have it long. So last I seen him, it was cut short. So Daniels have a need for adventure. He like hiking, and he loves friends. So Daniel would definitely be a person who's not a loner. So he would definitely seek out friendship somewhere. And I'm sure if God's willing that Daniel is actually out there somewhere, I'm sure he's surrounded by someone. And so that's what I'm looking forward to. That's the hopes and the dreams, that my son is out there alive. Of course, as a father, I have to also concentrate on being here on the ground. That's my son's last scene. The vehicle is the evidence that go by, and that suggests a lot of other things. So that's why I'm out here on the ground searching on it. So it's like a two-part thing. You got to be hopeful, but at the same time be realistic and kind of look both ways.
Yes, absolutely. For you guys asking if there's a GoFundMe, yes, it's in the description box below, Teresa. So just click on there, and mods, if you could share that as well. I think you just did. Thank you so much. If we could promote all of the links in the description box the most tonight, that would be amazing.
Right.
Yes. Okay. Also, it's his right arm, right?
His right hand. He's have an arm. It's just he's without the right hand down to his forearm.
Just in case people can look out for anything. Does he have any tattoos or any other distinguishing features that we could look out for? Well, I'm not in America, but I'll look out anywhere. Is there anything people could look out for?
Yeah, Daniel, he's no tattoo. So that's one thing. That's for sure. See a guy tattooed, and most likely it's not Daniel, unless he got something new. Daniel's not would like tattoos, from what I understand, in our conversations. But so only distinguishing thing would be his hands. Like he is like 5'8", and
5'8", okay.
So that's one of the distinguishing things. He's a geologist. He's not really somebody who's got to do some drugs or this or that type.
Yes.
He's pretty boring. He's a scientist, but he's not. When I say boring, he doesn't have a boring life, or nothing very exciting other than he's an exciting person.
Okay, yes. Let me see if I can share. I just want to share a screen. That would be this one. Yes, let's do that. So, guys, this is the site. Please help find Daniel.com. Everything that you need to know is on here, all the links and everything. You can sign the petition. I'm going to click on this.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, this says Justice for Daniel Robinson. Hold on, let me just accept the cookies always. Okay, so we're trying to get here, right, to 75,000 signatures. There's right now 70,214. So we still have a way to go. I believe you Grizzlies, you can go there. I know you can, and let's get this to 75.
Thank you.
There's an entire description here of, my name is David Robinson. So that's Daniel's dad right here. There's a whole story here that you can read more about it and everything. Of course, I'm still going to be covering this case on here as well, as often as I can. And looking forward to hopefully some good news. So please sign the petition. And let's find this quickly again. Are we back at the screen? Yes. So we've got please help find Daniel here. I'm just clicking on every page so they can see. There's goals here for the GoFundMe that you can easily click on and join. I mean, this must have been quite a lot to set up as well, right? Really quickly. Damn, to help out with all this. And then news articles. Here's also news articles. There's pictures, there's links and everything like that. So I really hope you guys will go check it out. It's in the description box, as I say. But let's get that petition to 75. And could you maybe tell everyone what the petition is about?
Well, initially it was for put pressure on the Buckeye Police Department because they weren't doing anything, not enough. Whenever you can only do 3 searches in 3 months, that's unacceptable. And so that was more so to put pressure there. I needed public support. That's why if you go to search for Daniel, pleasehelpdaniel.com. I put a pop-up link there for people to be able to call the police department and demand some action. So that was initially, and then, like I said, I started seeing, being here so long, and I started hearing from other family members from all over the country, and I say, hey, this thing is bigger than my son. I didn't realize that so many people out there is missing. I didn't realize that the urgency wasn't there, and so I also want to share my petition to go a little farther to like states like Arizona, Alaska, New York. Some of these states, California, they have these high rate of missing people, and try to get some changes done in these police departments when it comes to maybe having a outside or inside, department that especially focuses on missing people, so that way the resources are there and action is a lot quicker. So that's my goal. Also to try to start a foundation or something for my son, in his name.
That would be amazing. Also, what can I say? I wanted to say something. I'm getting old. When you get to the 75,000 signatures, what will happen then? What do you think that the Buckeye Police or whoever will respond to that? Because it is a petition.
They have responded so far to the pressure of the media, and I'm very grateful. They responded 2 weeks ago. They did their 4th search. Even though it was in the same area, they did a 4th search. I was grateful. I actually heard a phone call from the detective that I didn't hear in several weeks. So, so I think the pressure is, as long as I have the media coverage like you're doing now, the support, that keep putting that pressure on them to at least contact me. I've had to put on out there in the media, say, hey, Buckeye, call me. They wouldn't answer calls when. Call me back, but now I have heard from them. Like I said, a week or 2 ago now. So that's starting to see some kind of movement. So that helps a lot.
We're going to stay on the case for sure. And right now, if I could give it's not a shout out, it's more like a plea to all the other YouTubers who've been covering especially the Gabby Petito case and all these missing people cases, right? Iked Mel, Popcorn Planet, Tyler Feller, name some, guys. If you could please just send this to them. Please help them also get in touch so that this story could be shared. Maybe you could be interviewed on their channels as well. Some of them have much, much bigger audiences as well. So that would be really, really great.
Thank you.
So even if I could help connect the dots in any way, if anyone wants to contact me, if you don't know how, but go to the website, because that's how I got hold of you, right? So you've made it fairly easy for us to get hold of you, which is amazing. So
Yes.
Thank you so much, everyone. I can just see they all. Yeah, please go and sign it. They say signed. Thank you so much.
Yes. Thank
Yes,
you so much. Yes. Thank you. God bless.
that is what we want. Is it? Let me just see here. First name, last name, email. So you could technically sign it from different emails, or no? Is that
Um,
cheating?
I didn't get the question.
If you sign the petition and you have, a husband with a different email address, or you have two, I have like 2 or 3 email addresses. Could I sign it from different ones?
Yes, I'm sure you can. I'm sure the
Right.
platform allow you to do that.
Right,
um,
right. So
yeah, that's
sign as
definitely
much as you can, guys. Sign as much as
right.
you
Yeah,
can. We
once
want to get
again,
it there. I can see it happening now. Thank you so much, guys. I can see you guys are there now. So that's
well,
amazing.
thanks so
Keep it
much. Yeah,
going.
right.
Keep it going, Grizzlies.
I'm
Keep it
trying to get as
going.
high as I can, and have my attorney now. I hired on attorney. That's something new.
Okay.
I hired on attorney. I've been working with some in the background. So it's a lot of
Yes.
background work is also being done that I can't share, but I
Yes.
can't say that I have an attorney now, and we're working together to utilize the petition and things like that in a
Yes.
proper way to get some action and things done. So,
Okay. That's great. I hope we can get you to 75,000. So many other YouTubers out there. Please also go there, share this link. That would be amazing to get that petition signed, to get the action going. My goodness. So let's see. Can you leave all the info in the description box? It is all in the description box. You can just click out of the live chat and go to the box. It's all there as well. And you also have an Instagram, right?
oh yes, I do. Please help find Daniel. So
Right.
yeah,
Yes.
there's Twitter also. Please help find Daniel. It's all of them in the same theme.
Right. So if you guys go and follow on Instagram, you could follow the searches that are happening right now and gather more clues. And if anything else is found and things, I will share it over here as well.
And I
Very
can't
good.
see the Twitter page will have more, feedback
Yes.
too of both Instagram and Twitter, the
Yes.
feedback, things that's going on the ground. For instance, our searches,
Yes.
what we're trying to do, just comments and things coming out from the family, myself,
Yes.
especially.
Yes. Okay. Okay. That's great. Yeah, I can see. Okay. Yeah. All the links are definitely there. Just waved. Someone said I already was with a coworker and just waved at him and drove away. Okay. Like as in the coworker was like, bye type of thing, right?
Well, from what I understand, the my son and the coworker, once they got to the site,
Yes.
they get ready to start their job, but then it started raining.
Oh,
My
yeah.
son decided, he have the ability to shut the site down if he want to. He have that authority. So he
Yeah.
decided to shut the site down for that day because of the rain. He asked and did he want to go back to Phoenix. I guess the end of work day,
Yes.
he said he refused to do so because he felt like the rain is going to pass. So
yeah.
my son decided to hop in his vehicle, kind of did a little wave at him and drive off. So
Yes.
that was the story. But like I said, all this is based on one man's testimony, one man's story.
Yes.
So
Yes.
we don't know exactly what happened at that well site, but we do know had to go by the story that this one gentleman
Right.
give us to go by. So
Right. My goodness. Thank you so much for sharing the links again, mods. Is there anything else that you could share that you would want to share? I hope we covered everything.
well, this the hope. No, this pretty much just I just want everybody to know that as a father, I'm doing everything I can to find my son.
Yes.
If anybody have anything they think is significant or anything they don't
Yes.
not feel that it's significant but it can be helpful, yeah, please share that. I do have an investigator. I do have an attorney. We all working together to try to find answers. I have my volunteers out there.
Yes.
We're family. I smile about these people because when they come out, they know. Well, the ones that do come out to the search, they know.
Yes.
We're family, and we need all the help we can get.
Yes. Okay. Absolutely. So one more time. So if anyone is around the area and if they want to help, it would usually be that they could join you on a Saturday, right?
That's correct.
And what sort of hours do you guys go out there?
Well, we now changed the hours to 6:45. That's a safety briefing.
Okay.
Everybody's safe. We do that for about 15 minutes. I introduce myself, give a little spiel for my family, and then we break off into groups at around 7-ish. We try to kick off the searches from that point till about 11 a.m. But a lot of times, like I said, we put those parameters times there for the volunteers. But the volunteers are so dedicated. Sometimes we're out there to 4 or 5 in the afternoon.
Right.
So it depends. We're out there really trying to search.
Yes. Okay, absolutely. Please ask about the wells. I don't know what questions they have about the wells, but is there any information that you have about the oil wells or the wells or any site like that?
Well, there are water wells
Okay.
in that area, and there's a lot of not just the wells. We have also lion den out there. We have also abandoned mine shafts, and some that are marked, some that are not. A lot of those things have been searched. We haven't found all of them. That's what I'm saying. It's so vast out there. Where people go out there looking for gold or whatever. And so sometimes people can drive into a mine shaft. We know that didn't happen with Daniel because we have the vehicle, but we do search some of those things, and when we find them, as we find them.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. No, just I think they're just interested to know what kind of wells are there or what's going on there. Well, thank you everyone for watching. We'll continue on with this case, and if there's any other cases, because you said you found some remains and some missing people cases that have also been made known to you. If there's any others that you'd like me to share, please send me those, and I will gladly do that as well.
Okay.
Or anyone, if you want anyone to get in touch with me to, use the platform to talk about their case. Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't have the information right now, but I do have someone in Florida. Checking right now to see if that's her brother, the skull that we found.
Oh, wow.
But even so, whoever next time we get on, I have those information on hand.
Yes.
But like I want to repeat that everything we find out there, we don't find all human remains. We do find some animal bones, but we know the difference between animal and human. But but from a scientific standpoint, once we turn that over to Buckeye Department, Police Department, they can call them whatever they want to call them or do what they want to do with them.
Yes.
So being that said, I'm not here saying Buckeye is wrong and say they all the animal bones. I'm saying this from ours because we don't have a lab to say that. But from a human standpoint, just even looking at some of those things out there, we find things out there like that would suggest human bones remains, not just the skull, but also the other remains. Right.
Wow, that is a good question. Actually, someone has. Were there any signs of injury, or because the car had crashed a bit? Was there any sign of any injury or anything like that?
What I was told by the Buckeye Police Department when they came out to look at my son's vehicle when it was found, there was no blood in the vehicle. And his theory would be that there was no injury. But at the same time, they felt like he could have had a severe brain injury. I don't know how those two work together, but but as it stands for, as in blood and things like that, there was none seen in the vehicle.
Okay. Did the police really tell you that your son may have had a head injury and walked off into the desert to join a monastery, or is that media stuff?
That's real stuff. Mostly, the theory was that my son had a severe brain injury. That's the first thing he said. Had severe head injury, undressed himself, and because he thought he was hot, and he went walk off and rested on a tree. But when he was showing me the same detective, when he was showing me my son's vehicle for the first time, he stopped me and suggested that my son may have joined a monastery, went to go join a monastery to be away from his family. And
my word.
That's farther from anything that Daniel would do.
That makes no sense either. That is very frustrating, a very frustrating thing to hear in that moment for sure. Sure. They say were the clothes folded near the car or just scattered?
It wasn't folded, but they was in the pile. Everything piled except for the boots. That was 3 feet away from the vehicle, and then another foot away to the right. My son's safety vest that he was wearing, because he wears safety vests out there in the desert, and that was found another foot, like I say, from that pile of clothing. His boot, one boot was near the clothing, but the other one was tucked up under the vehicle. Like I said, all the airbags are deployed. the sunroof was open, and only window that was broken out was the driver's side driver door window. Glass
Wow.
broken. The windshield had two impressions in it, like something was trying to go through it and go in the inside.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those pretty much. But the clothing, yeah, all of
Yeah.
that outside. With his wallet was out there, and everything else, the keys, the cell phone,
Yeah.
was inside the vehicle. Was found inside the vehicle.
My goodness. So you say the window as well, it was from the outside that the indentations or whatever were? The
Well,
window,
the window,
like as if, yeah.
the driver's side window wasn't. It was the only one that was missing. Was busted
Yeah.
out.
Yeah. Yes.
But there was no enough glass inside the vehicle to say, hey, it's busted out, and then the glass fell inside the vehicle. That didn't
Oh,
happen.
yeah.
Um, but all the other windows are intact, except for the windshield. Like I said, was damaged heavily. It was two imprints, like something. I'm just speculating, like a brick or something.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Trying to go through the windshield on two sides, but that's pretty much it. With the damage on the outside also.
Wow. And
no roof damage. It wasn't no roof damage, so that indicated it wasn't a full rollover and thing like that.
yeah.
It could have been a partial, but not a full rollover.
Wow. That is it's so mysterious, right? Also, are there any, because I don't know the area so well, animal wise, are there any wild animals out there that,
Oh yes.
yeah, okay.
When we go out on our searches, we do, of course, anytime you go in the desert, you find them. We have this rattlesnakes, of course. I haven't ran into them, but
Okay.
rattlesnake. We have the cattle, longhorn cattle.
Yeah.
You have the mountain lion. You have, of course, scorpions. You have the cow. Those type animals out there too. So we have to be real cautious and stuff like that. But using those type animals, they stay away from the humans. So I haven't. The only thing I ever ran into out there in the search was a cow. So that's about it. Yes.
Okay. And I won't ask too many more questions. Where were the keys in the ignition? That's one of the questions.
I wasn't told. I probably should have asked that question. I was told that it was in the vehicle. I don't know if it was in the ignition, out. I just know the cell phone was in there also.
Yes.
And I want to remind you that the cell phone was ringing for hours. Of course, once we just realized that my son was missing, our entire family and his friends was calling. I'm sure that phone was just ringing off the hook. It lasted for hours, almost, I would say, over a day. But it finally started going straight to voicemail.
Wow. Okay. And because it's in the desert, there's not like too many other cell phone towers, right, in the 11-mile radius where it could ping, because I would hope the police would look into that, right?
I was hoping they did too, but I can't tell you, being out there in the desert all the time. Well, believe it or not, we have great reception out there.
Oh, wow.
Great reception. I have never dropped a call or anything like that. I don't know if it's an AT&T thing, but I never dropped a call. Initially, of course, that's the first thing we asked for as a family. When I got here on the ground, I met with the Buckeye Police Department. I need to know the cell phone pings.
Yes.
I want to know a geolocation with the Uconnect in his vehicle. I need to know, just certain little things I need to know, find out where my son is at the time, because we didn't know. But somehow, conveniently for the Buckeye Police Department, they tell me, hey, we can't find no cell phone pings. We can't get a location off the device inside the vehicle, the Uconnect. I mean, we don't have any footage of, I know a lot of you go to an intersection at a light, and they have cameras, saying they would say, hey, you've been on this street, you've been there, blah, blah, blah. They tell me they can't get anything from that. So I was like, okay, what can you get? So that was some of the reasons too, like I said at the beginning, that caused me to start doing my own searches and also my own investigation.
Okay. Yep. Wow. And they say, was it confirmed that he was alone in the vehicle?
They didn't do any forensic work at the scene. So mind you, they couldn't tell me that. One of the biggest things I had a problem with at the beginning also is because of that. I had got a meeting. I demanded a meeting with the chief of police, Chief Hall. Larry Hall, and in that meeting with his detectives and his assistant chief and everyone else, I demanded answers for that. Like, okay, how you know my son was driving the vehicle? Well, the smart remark from the detective, hey, it's his vehicle. It's obvious he was driving. I said, well, but how you really know? How you know there was no blood in the vehicle? We didn't see any blood. If you didn't do any forensic work, how you would know any of that? They couldn't give me those answers because they didn't do the work. So of course I demanded the work, which is later. So the thing is, I'm saying is, those guys at the beginning wasn't even trying to find those answers for me. So I had to go these answers myself.
Right. Goodness. And the longer it goes on, of course, then the evidence could become a little bit tainted. Yeah. It's better right in the beginning. And I mean, the car was only found, as you said, 29 days later or something.
Almost 30 days, right?
My goodness.
Yes.
Okay, let's see. Please do notify the FBI for more attention to this. I mean, that is the thing, actually. Yesterday, I had Jerry Williams, a former FBI special agent, on the show, and she said if someone goes missing in a national park or it feels like this is a desert, right? So wouldn't the FBI get involved usually in something like this?
I was, like I say, I'm not a expert or a thing on law expert like this. So I really wouldn't know. But from a family standpoint, that's the first thing we'll think. Hey, somebody come out, your son go missing out in the desert. I know that they have their own investigator islands. Where they share. One department might own this part of the desert, the other one, But when it comes to something like this, and then especially if it's been over before the vehicle was found, it's gone on over almost 30 days. Can't get this certain information. I think they would call outside outside help. So again, that just shows what I'm saying. Buckeye would say a lot of things in the media to make themselves look good, but on the reality on the ground, I haven't seen it. So you have to take it upon yourself if they was using outside agencies, whether it was the FBI, whether it was another department, and then your family. Wouldn't you think they would come to you with that evidence, or say, hey, this is officer, or this is so and so from whatever department, and they're working on your son's case too. They don't, because I don't believe it's actually happening. They're just words they put out there in the media to make themselves look good for lack of their work, but they're so arrogant, saying to actually do exactly what they're saying they're doing.
Yeah. I just want to find that there's one thing that Jerry shared yesterday, which I think the blog post is now available. I just want to see, because it was definitely national parks or outdoor areas, things like that. The FBI really should get involved. But of course, Buckeye would have to tell them.
That's correct.
They have to activate the involvement. My goodness. So let's hope the petition can get signed so we can activate some involvement.
That's it.
Get it going. My goodness. And it could actually help a lot of people, as you say.
And it is. And that's my whole goal. Like I'm saying, that's exactly what I need. I've been trying to beg and plead the Buckeye to do a little bit more. And I know I've tried to understand it. Is it their budget? Is they just don't want to do it?
Yeah.
Or or they're ignorant, like I said. So I had to come with my own opinions. But I can say that they do need to get outside agencies in, because also it's not only helping my son's case, but it helped other people as well.
Yes. Goodness, they say maybe the petition could get them in gear, right? Well, we hope so. You got to go, Grizzlies. You got to do your thing.
Yes, thank you. Yes.
Right? We're going to get it going every day until it's at 75. That would be the goal now. Every day until it's there, because it needs to.
Even more. I'm
even
getting
more.
I'm getting all I can. It started off with 0, and we was working our way up, just inching up as time go by. And I'm continuing on. Like I said, I'm working with my in the background with my attorney and my investigator, and we put those things together where how to better utilize our petition and things like that. Use it all together, right?
Okay. And if you get more than 75, so if you get to 150,000 or however many, that would help even more, right? Like
it was. The more the merrier. The more is always the best. You can't go wrong.
Yeah, can't go wrong there. Can't go wrong there. Wow. So they're saying nice things like my thoughts are with Daniel and family,
Thank
right? And Teresa's asking where it is. Thank you, Teresa. It's at 70,285. So let's
Oh,
get
wow.
it to 71 today if we could, and 72 tomorrow. We keep going.
Yes, thank
I
you.
mean, in general, you guys, you new Grizzlies, there's 30,000 of you here. Seriously, if each person just goes there one time, we're there. We're there. That's what we need to do. They say
Thank
it can't hurt. Can't hurt, right? No, it can only really help.
That's right.
Right. Wow.
I
So thank
really
you
tell
so
you-
much for.
Yeah, I was
Sorry.
gonna tell you, your followers, thank you so much. And the kind words always help. I don't have a moment where sometimes I get to grieve, and I had to
Yes.
stay sharp. I had to stay strong.
Yes.
That way I can be more, I can be more effective. But
Yes.
at the time, and late at night, I try to get to every email, every text, there's a lot, and I really thank
Yeah.
people pouring in, because that helps when I get to read certain things, and it's very
Yes.
nice, very kind. I can't get to everybody that I wish I can sometimes. I even have people, I end up finally getting to them like almost a month later. It's not
Wow. Yeah.
time, but it's more so because it's so much out there that I have to weave through, that I finally get the person. But you best believe I'm trying my best, and I will speak to each and
Yes.
every one of you, whether it's a tip, whether it's a comment, whatever it is. I really, especially the comments, I just really enjoy them, especially all the love and support and the prayers.
Yes, absolutely. So you were working where you were before, right? Did you have to leave your job and uproot your whole life now? I mean, it's we're looking for your son, but did you have to leave everything? Because the logistics of that must be so heavy as well.
Well, fortunately, I was retired. I just retired out of the
Ah,
military. Yes, I'm Army retired,
okay.
and just enjoying my retirement. As soon as that day when I was, like I said, I was out on my backyard,
Yeah.
and sitting there relaxing. So my children always call in. So, like I say, your life uproot and it goes really fast.
Yes.
You're on your back porch, watching television, and then the next day you're out here searching for your son.
Yeah.
So. Yes, but yeah, I'm retired, so that gave me
Okay.
the ability to be able to be here.
And are you staying in a hotel right now permanently, or did you? Wow, out of a
Yes,
hotel. That's
yes, I've
so.
been here since June the 26th, and
Wow.
I haven't been home yet. I haven't sold my home and things like that, but
All
I haven't
right.
been home yet. But I've been here since. Yes.
Wow. Okay. Do you have some family staying at the home and looking after the home, or can anyone help with that? Anyone in the
My neighbors,
audience?
my neighbors, I have great neighbors.
Okay.
They even help cut the grass, things
Oh,
like that.
wow.
Yeah, I do
Okay. That's
have
wonderful.
nice neighbors. My neighbors help out really well, so I'm grateful for them too.
Wow. And if you could get like a apartment or a more permanent type of home where you are now, that would help too, right?
It is, yes, and that's what I'm working on now, because it cut the cost.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
very high,
Yes.
and that's what we're working on now. Yes,
So,
but
so
it's very expensive, so that's
yeah.
all. Here is very expensive, but we're working on that now.
Okay. Yeah. So GoFundMe, guys, so that that would be amazing. That would be a relief, because I'm sure living out of a
It is, yes.
hotel all the time, it actually adds to the strain, right? Because it's not
No home cooked
home.
meal.
It's not a homey. There's no home cooked meals. Exactly. Wow.
Right,
Are people helping you out with that at
right.
all? Like, are they helping you with like
I
food
have my
and things?
daughter
Your
here.
community?
I have my
Okay.
daughter here, so I use her sit here at her place too sometimes. But she's
Okay.
here in Arizona also.
Okay. Okay. So there's some family there, but definitely if we could get you a more comfortable place to stay, wow, that would be amazing. So Grizzlies, I know you got it in you. This is a really great, supportive, nice community. So I really hope they can, make a dent. Make a dent in the universe, guys. Make a dent. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. Lieutenant Peter Pranzo says just signed. Thank you so much. Thank you for everyone who has just signed. And
Oh,
please
thank you.
share this. Yeah, share it and make sure you get as many people to sign. I'm going to go bug my husband right now as well.
Thank you so
You're
much.
going to
God,
sign here.
yeah,
Right?
thank you.
And you are welcome back, as I said, on a weekly basis. If you want to be on a daily basis, anytime, just let me know. You are welcome to
Oh,
share
wow.
more of the story, to keep sharing the story anytime. The platform is open to you. Yeah, thank you
Yes.
to everyone for your kind words. If you watch the replay later, I'm sure you'll see some of them as well. They all wish you well, and they have a lot of empathy for you. And, it's a sad story, but let's hope. I put this tree here behind me because it represents hope to me.
There you go. Thank you
Let's
so
hope,
much.
right? Yeah. So if you could just hang out for like a minute when I say goodbye to them, just so that we could talk to each other for a second. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. I really appreciate it. As I say, please share this. Don't worry about liking the video and doing all that. Just share it. Or you could actually like it to boost it, right? The algorithm, and then it can get shared. And please contact those other YouTubers that you guys watch so that they can also share it. Anything else that you want to share before we say goodbye to the audience?
No, I just want to tell them thank you. I really, like I say again, I'm grateful. I'm very grateful.
Yeah.
God, sometimes I don't know what words to use, but I'm very grateful, and I thank you so much.
Okay. So thank you so much, everyone. I'm going to end the broadcast now. I'm going to be chatting behind the scenes, and I'll be with you guys again later. There's some other videos coming out later tonight for you, but thank you so much for watching this one. I really, really appreciate it. And we're going to keep this case going on this channel and others that we bring up.
Thank you so much.
So I will see you guys soon. Thank you so much. See you later.